Do you guys see that over there? I am at Lafayette Flea Market. Just got off a Zoom meeting actually, setting up our new CRM for our real estate acquisitions team. And it turns out that the person that was running the Zoom had really shitty internet. So I had to cut it short, but I wanted to go live real quick and touch on this place right here. And what significance does this place right here have, this Lafayette Flea Market? Before I go into that though, remember to like, share, subscribe my content, MAJSAYY, where every day I'm sharing with you guys how I'm becoming successful in my health, my wealth, my fitness, and my personal relationships. I believe you can't have one without the other. So what better way to lead by example and sharing it with you guys. Also make sure that you check me out on Instagram. It's MAJSAYY as well. Same thing. Try to make it easy for you. But this place right behind me actually ended up being my first job. My first job, bro. This one, I was so excited. The only reason why I even decided to work a job here, guess this. It's one of the most superficial things ever. But I wanted to get a iPod Nano. An iPod Nano, like those little, the small ones. And I remember I was going through Zooms, the Zune, Microsoft Zune. I don't know if you guys remember that. I probably aged myself by just saying that, but the Zunes were awesome to me until they weren't. It was at that point where you could watch videos on a MP3 device, and that was game changing in itself. But I wanted a iPod Nano, so I went here to make money to save up for an iPod Nano. And when I was working here, I was sweeping floors, I worked the cash register, I was putting away things that weren't bought, all those low level type of income things when you're first starting your job. Guess how old I was when I first started here? I was 13. I was 13 years old when I first started working here. That's not even, what is that, 7th grade? 6th grade? 6th or 7th grade at that time. Just thinking about all the things that I wanted to do. And before that, before I even started working at this place, I mowed lawns. I went door to door, and it was mainly my pops that sparked that initiative to go door to door and hang up flyers in these on the door handles. And sometimes even I knocked until I got discouraged from just a lot of denials. And what I learned from that is that you have to go through the denials at a very young age. I think I was about 11, just going door to door. And no, I was 12. I was 12 at that time. I was 12, going door to door, mowing lawns. And it was really good. It was good money, but it was a lot of work. It was hard. And at that time, I really learned hard work and being compensated for that hard work. A lot of the times when I would get my pay, I would just blow the money on some video games. At that time, I was really into Xbox, so I'd just get me some Xbox games and just start playing those. Because my parents, they wouldn't get me games once I hit that age. Before they used to, but then I just decided to get games myself. So a lot of the stuff I put my money into is a lot of superficial things, entertainment, things of that nature. And at that point, I was really tired of the fact of having to trade my hard sweat and tears as that 12-year-old kid. So I decided to get a job. And at that time, I think they weren't paying really anything. I think it was like $6 an hour or something like that over here. $6, $7 an hour. And it was one of those jobs that made me question life at 13. It made me think, oh man, this is tough. Is this what it's like to be an adult? To actually work for money? It was miserable, having to clock in and be around different people that I didn't really want to be around and do things that I didn't want to do. And for those that do know me, I don't mind doing things that I don't feel like I'm doing, but it's doing the things that are draining on an emotional and energetic level that caused me to just be like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. So, I wanted to share with you guys this here, of when I first started to become an employee, and that mindset when it got ingrained. And mainly, I thought it was the way to make money, because most of my peers at that young age, they were working jobs. I wasn't taught that doing the entrepreneurial or self-employment route would be more lucrative, more beneficial in growth overall and self-development until later in life. And just seeing this place over here, it made me realize that making that switch to being self-employed, yes, it's going to be a lot of work. Yes, you're going to bust your ass starting something new. If you're not buying or doing business acquisitions, you're going to be bootstrapping and doing a lot of the heavy lifting yourself. So if you are going to be doing something that's going to be self-employment route, which I highly recommend, if you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I recommend going into the 4 quadrants, the cash flow quadrant, where they break down the employee, self-employed, entrepreneurial, investor. Working your way up, definitely going to the self-employed route, which is kind of semi where I am right now, on the cusp of self-employed to entrepreneur right now. That's something that you want to do. When you do that switch, when you first make that switch from becoming an employee to self-employed, you start buying back your time. At the beginning, you're a slave to the business. Right now, I'm a slave to all these businesses that I have. Fortunately, I love what I do. Fortunately, I have great customers. Fortunately, I'm able to have the knowledge, and I've learned a lot of the things that I need to do in order to become that entrepreneur and become a straight business owner and leverage myself a lot better, leverage the people around me, leverage relationships. That's most important in order to cut back on that the learning curve. So that's something that I've learned there, is you're going to become a slave to it, at least for the first year or two. Definitely be fine with not paying yourself. Pour into the business a lot more than yourself. If you're able to pour into your business a lot more than you're able to take personal funds to yourself to fund fund entertainment rather. Education is much more important than entertainment. So if you can flip that, that's something that I've noticed too, is if you're an employee, you're going to want to spend stuff on entertainment because you're trying to run away from the fact that you have to answer to another human. And that brings me to my next point. When you're self-employed, you only answer to your customers. And you only answer to your spouse if you have one, or any other family members. But for the most part, your customers are the ones that are going to be your bosses. You can fire your boss, just like you can fire your boss if you're an employee. So, self-employed, I love the aspect of owning my time. I could fire my bosses, aka customers, anytime I want to. But now that I'm transitioning into that business owner route, I'm going to be hiring people and putting them in place. And I'm going through coaching for this and holding myself accountable by making these posts and sharing them with you guys. But those are my main 2 takeaways, was owning your time up front, most and foremost, and being able to do what you want with that time in order to leverage yourself out of the current situation you're in. Because if you're in that point where somebody owns you and you have to get responsibility, get paid time off, all these type of things, of course you don't have your health insurance. That's something you'll have to keep into account. What I do is I save up and I have life insurance that I can leverage against. So I use that as well as other investment vehicles, but definitely saving your funds will help you out when you're going along this self-employment route. A lot of people think that there's security in becoming an employee, but it's all just mindset. That's just invisible. It's just the story that you're telling yourself, is that it's safe to become an employee. No, it's actually not. You cannot tiptoe yourself into a grave. You can if you want to, if that's a life that you choose. But for myself, hell no. Hell no, I do not choose that. I do not choose that route. I choose something a lot more riskier, and you have to be more risk averse when doing these type of things, when starting a business. And fortunately as well, I had a mentor when I started doing my first cleaning business. I didn't have a mentor when I was doing my personal training business. I more so just did it myself, winged it, did stuff in person, did stuff online, and it wasn't efficient, it wasn't effective, and it was draining on my emotion just because of the type of clientele that I had that weren't really holding themselves accountable, and I was holding them accountable. But at the same time, it was my mindset being like, you know what? Why am I trying to bash this person up against the head to get them to go to the gym, to get them to invest in themselves when I'm struggling to do it with myself? So I decided to choose me and pour into me. And I think that I know that you should do the same. Choose you, pour into you, fire your boss, fire your higher up that's looking over you right now, because the illusion that they are looking after you, the illusion that the company cares about you is not true. And I think we are seeing it in 2023 with a lot of these layoffs going on right now, is nobody's safe out here. You have to be able to hunt for yourself. You have to be able to get after it. So just unsheath, take off that veil of fake security, go into becoming a self-employed individual first, and then scale yourself up. It takes knowledge, it takes grit, it takes a lot of courage and other unseen things that we do not have. But I know that you see it, I know that you're able to do it, and just follow my journey, because I'm going to be doing the same exact thing in our real estate businesses, our car rental businesses, and our cleaning businesses. At this moment, we are currently in about 4 or 5 different things all at once. So that being said, the way that we're delegating things and the way that we are handling things is we are delegating out a lot of tasks that I'm not comfortable doing or I don't want to do. And same thing with my partners, we're delegating that. And it's just creating a bunch of mini-me's right now in systems and operations that we'll be putting together. So working a lot on that, especially getting the CRM up and running. I'm excited to get this going. I'm gonna keep y'all posted on the status of things, but thank you for watching. I do have to head to a job right now that I should be replacing myself with, but we will get there in time. I'm gonna go grab a smoothie before I head out. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe this content if you resonate with the message. Let me know what you want to hear or what you would like me to share. If it's more fitness, entrepreneurial based, personal finance, whatever, just let me know. Love to be able to share it with you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.